Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to look at the basic structure of a Java program. In our previous lecture, we created a program called Hello World that outputs the word Hello World on the screen. And this here is the structure of the code. Okay? So we're going to go through each of this line to explain what it is or what they do. The first line here, we've got package followed by the word Hello World. Hello World is the name of the package. Basically, what that means is that this statement here tells the compiler that the Java file we wrote belongs to the Hello World package. Yeah, a package is simply a grouping of related classes and interfaces. Don't worry if you don't know what classes are, we will cover them as the course progresses. An interface is basically the view. So if you don't know what an interface is, don't worry also. We'll also cover and we'll interact with an interface or interfaces as the course progresses. I just want you to just focus on this basic structure. So when you hear of a package, you know basically a package is simply a grouping of related classes and interfaces. So by writing the package Hello World at the top of this editor file, we are asking the compiler to include this file in the Hello World package. The compiler will then create a folder named Hello World. The compiler then saves that Hello World into that folder. So the package is saved in a Hello World folder. And that folder is normally saved in your documents folder. So let's navigate to that folder. So if you go to Start, Documents, you should see a folder called NetBeans Projects. Click on that. That's the Hello World I was just talking about. So this is where the package is. So if I open that now, all this is the package. So it contains related classes and interfaces for the program. So this here is the folder where the Hello World package is saved to. If you open the Hello World folder, within that Hello World folder, you find another folder called SRC or source. If you click on that, you find a Hello World folder. This folder stores the files of the Hello World package. It is a convention to name our packages or to name the packages in lower case. So note that Java is case sensitive. It's a case sensitive language. So Hello World in uppercase is not the same as Hello World in lower case. One of the advantages of declaring packages is that it prevents naming conflicts. So two or more files can have the same name as long as they belong to different packages. This is basically similar to how you have two or more files of the same name in your computer, but they belong to different folders or directories. So if I click into this Hello World folder, you will see the file. So this is Hello World.java. So Java programs usually have the .java extension. The next code we want to look at is the class. So we've got a class here called Hello World, and notice the class here starts on line 3 here, and when you create a class you have to also have curly braces. So this is the opening curly brace and this is the closing curly brace. And any code between the class will be executed. Notice the word public before the class. A class can either be public or it can be private. When a class is public, it means that the class can be accessed by any class in the program. Okay? However, when the class is private, it means that it can only be accessible to other classes within the same package. The curly braces here highlighted are basically used extensively in Java to indicate the start and the end of a code element. So it indicates that the code starts there and it ends there. So you must always have an opening and a corresponding closing curly braces. Notice that within the Hello World class, we have a method called main, this main method here. Okay, public means public, void means it does not return anything. That's what void means. The keyword static, what that means, basically it allows the main method to be called without having to instantiate a particular instance of the class. So when we're learning about class, you know more about instantiation. So what that means is that you don't need to instantiate or create a class for the method to be called. This is important. This is put there because the reason that it's there really is that when the Java interpreter or compiler, when it actually calls the program, it will want to check for that. So what I mean here is that the actual main method is called by the Java interpreter before any objects are made. And the word void, this keyword void, also simply tells the compiler that the main method does not return a value. Notice the word string inside the parentheses. So we've got a parenthesis here and it closes there. So you've got string and you've got this symbol here. Where you have square brackets, it means that that is a symbol for an array. So basically what it's saying that this method here can accept a string of text, as an array. So it means that the method can take an array of strings as input. Again, don't worry too much if you don't know what arrays are. We will be covering it later in the course. This method here called main is the entry point of all Java applications. Whenever a Java application is started, the main method is the first method to be called. Also, inside the main method, we've got a line of code here. What this code does, it prints the word inside the parentheses on the screen. And the word inside this parentheses is hello world. So what this method does, it will print hello world on the screen or whatever you type in there. If you're typing in text, you need to enclose the text in quotes on either side. If you type in the text without the quotes, the compiler will complain and it will give an error in the editor and you'll not be able to run the code. Finally, we've got the semicolon. All Java code here is good to end them with a semicolon. That indicates the end of that line of code. So very important to end all Java code with a semicolon. So that is basically it for this lecture for the basic structure of a Java program. Thank you for watching and bye for now.